Ernest Lynch and Associates, Belton Insurance Associates Incorporated, M&P Construction, Jack Milam Insurance and Associates, the Odessa American, Odessa Veterinarians, the Permian High School Booster Club, RV Tool Incorporated, Bill Ray Insurance Associates Incorporated, Rose's Cafe, Serval Thriftway, Sewell Ford, Squadell Welding and Equipment, TPA West Texas John E. McCollum, WM Tool Company, Wagner Manufacturing, and Western Coating Company Incorporated.
And good evening. Welcome to the Gary Gaines Show, our final show of the season, and the show that we hoped would be next week, but instead it's 1 week in advance as the Permian Panthers had their season ended by the Plano Wildcats. And the game yesterday at Ratliff Stadium, we'll take you back to that game again, but it's not a show of disappointment, it's a show of celebration for an outstanding season, Coach. You're to be congratulated. I know you're very proud of your players.
We're extremely proud of our players, Kurt. It was a very gratifying year, and our guys accomplished many things that a lot of people never dreamed possible, and it's been a pleasure to coach these guys, and we're unbelievably proud of them.
Well, I know the beginning of the season seems a long way away right now, but when that season did start, it would be difficult to find many people that would think the Permian Panthers would go to the Final Four.
Well, that's true, and we only had 3 returning starters, and we ended up having 7 or 8 or 9 underclassmen starting for us this season, and only had 23 seniors, and overcame a lot of big odds to get where we were, and we're disappointed, of course, that we didn't win the game yesterday against Plano, but we got beat by a good football team, no question about it, and it certainly doesn't diminish the pride that we look back on the season with.
Let's look back at that final game. Plano defending 5A champions and winners of 26 in a row coming in. So let's take you back to Ratliff Stadium and relive some of this game that we saw yesterday with a good crowd at Ratliff. In fact, a sellout and standing room only at Ratliff Stadium. The Panthers, first play from scrimmage here.
First play, we run the counter dive to James Miles, and he picks up good yardage behind Ivory Christian and Lane Young, and also Clay Duncan threw a good block on that particular play. It was a good crowd.
See a replay of that coming up here. We talked about this being an offensive game, Coach, and I think right from the start with both teams running the first series, we saw that would be true.
Well, that was true, and we felt like that was very important as far as our game plan was concerned. To beat Plano, we were going to have a good offensive outcome, and we did for a half. That's Sean Crow and the fullback trap up the middle.
Good 1-2 punch, Crow and Miles on that first drive, and they had great games in the first half.
This was an audible that Mike Winchell checked off the line of scrimmage and checked to the fullback pitch. Sean takes it in for the touchdown, picks up a good block there, but James Miles picks up a good block on the outside by Lloyd Hill. And Sean, as always, did a good job running with the football. Alan Wiles missed on the point after, and we're up 6-0 with about 7 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Okay, now we'll see Plano coming out on offense. We'd heard about Steve Needham, and everything we heard was true.
Outstanding football player, and we had some difficulty through the course of the afternoon in defending him. And I tell you what, they have a great blocking offensive line, and their backs are extremely good blockers as well. And many of these plays, when you look at them and analyze them in slow motion, you can really see how good their offensive line comes off the ball and blocks. Missed a few tackles right there, and Edom gets down inside the 5-yard line.
One play later, Plano will take it in.
And again, that's Mr. Needham taking it across the goal line, and they convert the point after touchdown and go ahead of it 7-6.
And that's with 2:08 left to go in the first quarter, so both teams again have scored with their first offensive series in the ball game. Permian to get the ball back, and this is 3rd and 1 right here.
3rd and 1 call. We run the split lead to James Miles, and he runs behind Shane Jensen and Brian Chavez and Bruce Nettle and picks up the first down. Crow off tackle to the split side and picks up a nice gain. Here's James Miles on the fullback pitch, or the tailback pitch rather. Good power running.
You teach him to hurdle like that, Coach?
Well, no, that's we don't work on that just a whole lot, Kurt. That's some God-given talent that James has. Nice run here by Mike Winchell had a pass called, and he tippy-toes down the sideline. We get a clip and puts us back, and I believe this is about a 3rd and 16 situation coming up. We throw the post route to Lloyd Hill. Mike Winchell throws a perfect strike, and it's 6 points for Permian.
That's one of the prettiest passes Mike's thrown all year long, right in there.
Good connection, good pass protection up front. Mike laid it right on the money, and Lloyd made a good catch right inside the end line. 2-point conversion. Sean Crow for the 2 points, and we go up 14-7.
7:35 left in the half here. We pick up Plano on offense.
It's a good play right there by Chad Payne, number 31.
Defense will hold again with another nice play.
It's Brad Bath and Donnie Sherrill, I believe, right there on that tackle. Offense takes over, run the fullback trap. Sean Crow runs up the middle for about 8-yard gain. James Miles on the pitch sweep. Picks up good blocks from Crow. Real good block right there by Mike Winchell.
Okay, after the timeout, you've got 3rd down.
It's the pitch sweep again around left end, and James does an excellent job getting the football in the end zone. And we go up after the point after by Allen Wiles. We go up 21-7. Really felt like it was really important at this point. If we could have gone in at the half up 21-7, it would really been a big shot in our arm. Needham hits their wide out for a big play. I think this drive right here by Plano was perhaps a 4 or 5 play drive. I don't think it didn't take long at all.
It took less than a minute.
That's right.
So we heard about Needham's running. We saw his passing on this drive with two right in a row there.
And here's Needham. We slip 2 tackles, and he goes about 28 yards for the touchdown. And they convert on their point after touchdown, and it's down 21-14.
That's with 3:11 left to go in the first half of play, and in fact that's how the half would end, with Permian on top of the ball game, 21-14. We pick it up in the second half. Plano at Permian's 43-yard line.
It's a good rush right there by Brian Kwiatkowski and Mike Cox.
Needham sacked again right here.
It's Jack Comia.
So the Panthers will get the ball back, but now Plano tougher on defense against that run the second half, Coach.
They did play a lot better defense for the second half, we felt like, and after looking at the film, it was really nothing that they did any differently than they had done in the first half. I think we had a few more execution mistakes on our part in the second half, and I think that was the reason we moved the football very erratically in the second half.
So the Panthers will punt. Travis West will get out of bounds about the 15. And here's someone we didn't see much in the first half, but we saw Bertrand a lot in that second half.
That's Needham on the load option again, and they got it to the boundary and pitched it off right at the last minute. And, number 22 there made a good play. Here's a fumble recovery, I believe, by Brian Kwiatkowski. Good hit there by Marcus Lopez to cause that fumble.
Now again, a situation where we needed to take advantage of it, and unfortunately couldn't because of their defense right there, Coach.
Well, here's another. We failed to convert on several 3rd and short situations, and this was one of them. And those things get you beat in close football games when you're unable to make those short yardage conversions.
So the fourth quarter begins. Needham to the air once again.
Throws a strike right over there, pretty well covered by Jack and Robert Brown. They go with the option. Commits a tackle, and 22 takes it down. Brad Batt finally knocks it out of bounds inside the 10.
It's 4th and goal from the 2.
4th and goal from the 2, and there's really no secret they went to Needham. Here's the 2-point conversion. We string it out all the way to the boundary, and he pitches it right at the last minute. And they get it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
9:01 left in the game at that time. Here's a 3rd and 2 for the Panthers.
Again, we failed to convert on 3rd and short. And their defense has to have a lot of credit because they did what they had to do to shut us down in the second half.
And one more time, we see Needham taking it into the end zone. This should make it 28-21. The extra point made it 29-21. 2 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in the ball game. Permian did have a last chance, needing 4 first downs and, of course, the touchdown and 2-point conversion.
We were 3 first downs behind at that point, and had to get at least 3 first downs, a penetration, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion in order to win a football game. And here we go for the post route. Felt like that we might have got an interference call there, but officials didn't see it that way.
Both guys are going for the ball. That's the 7th season to go. Winchell.
Last play, offensive play for us, we have an outcut called and had a miscommunication right there, and it was an incomplete pass.
All right, and there's the final, 29-21. The Plano Wildcats beating the Panthers. The season ends a record of 11-2-1. But Coach, as you look back on that ball game, no disgrace to lose to Plano. They've beat 27 people in a row, and they've got a fine football team.
They did exactly what they had to do to win the football game, and that's a credit to them. We're still proud of our guys, but and they realized that they got beat by a good football team.
All right, well, let's look back on that season more. We've got some members of the Panther team here with us. Shane Jensen and Bruce Netherland will join us in just a moment as we continue with the Gary Gaines Show.
Excellence in athletics and academics. The uncompromising standards at Permian High School. This program is brought to you by Ace Specialties Incorporated, Al's Mexican Food Restaurant, American Auto Parts, Associated Builders, Bronco Chevrolet and BMW, Brown Electric Company, Car Well Service Incorporated, Citraflow Pump and Machine Company, Chaparral Industries, Tony Chavez Attorney, Cummins Supply Company, Fluid Addicts Incorporated, Terry L. Hoke CPA, J.M. Packer Corporation, Ernest Lynch and Associates, and Belton Insurance Associates Incorporated. Good luck to Coach Gary Gaines and his staff and the entire Permian football team. Congratulations on another successful football season in the Permian tradition.
And we welcome you back to the Gary Gaines Show. 2 more of the Panther players, as we've had a chance throughout the series of programs with Coach Gary Gaines to meet members of the team.